Okay, hi, this is a snapshot of my classroom community, PK assignment number 3. To start out, as we know and from the readings and from speaking with a lot of people, a positive classroom community is created in many different ways. Um, in my opinion, what I gathered from the reading is it's created by the teacher, the students, the activities and assignments in your class, the expectations, the school community, as well as the school curriculum, and by the families of the students in your class. Um, another piece I really took away and that I believe is that your classroom community is going to be a reflection on what you value and that what you think is really important, and that is going to be the basis of the classroom community and hopefully will be instilled into the students. Another really important piece of it is that students need to be a part of the installation of the values in your class or they're never going to buy into it. So that is involved with everything. It's with the expectations all the way to letting them choose their assignments is creating a really positive community. To start with physical, I really think we need to move. Students need to move. We need to create an active environment, not just so our bodies can move, but then our brains will be active as well. This starts with setting up our classroom in a way that movement is easy and it is encouraged. It's encouraged with the assignments and keeping kids really involved and moving around the class. As far as intellectual, we are learners. This would be part of the classroom community values, kind of. It comes from setting high expectations from the beginning of the year and keeping them high, setting high goals for individuals and for the class. If there are students at the beginning of the year that aren't reaching these high goals, that's okay, because as the year goes on, and what I'd like to see with the class by the end of the year is that they are all reaching those high goals. So as a class, we're reaching those high goals. Lessons need to be related to real life to create maximum relevance, purpose, and assignments should be authentic. So kids are buying into them. Real life is very important to, if we're going to create a community where kids really like it, then it needs to be connected to real life, and that's taking that step further within their knowledge. The last thing is to encourage questioning of teachers, so encouraging students to ask the teacher questions as well as the teacher asking the student questions and then students questioning each other. It just is going to create students to really go deeper into what we're learning about, creating a more intellectual environment. Socially, it's very important that we respect one another in my classroom to create this feeling that the class works as a team, and that's including the teachers as well. It doesn't mean that the teacher is just the coach, but they're a member of the team, which uh, I like this approach. I've used it coaching a bit too, and just it builds a lot of great things between you and your students. As socially as well, we really need to harbor individuality and recognize that our diversity is a strength as a class, and that is will make even a stronger community within the social aspect of it. This can be done by connecting assignments to students' lives, so giving them a chance to see to bring school home with them and connect it to their own life, and giving students many opportunities to respond. Not just to the teacher, but to their peers as well. When we hear students talk in class, we learn a lot about them, and that will build a relationship between the teacher, but also within each other, which is important. If you think about how much you know about someone just by listening to them respond in class, I think you could probably tell a great deal about someone just by listening to their responses and opinions, and that will create a strong community. Lastly, emotional. We all have feelings. People are entitled to have a bad day. It's important that as a teacher we create a feeling that students can take risks, and if they're not totally sure about something, and they get the answer wrong when they've put themselves out there, validate it. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes, and that includes me as well. If I make a mistake, you're going to validate it. Teachers make mistakes as well. It's also really important that we build relationships with students. They talk about this a lot in our readings as well. Relationships are important so they feel safe. Students need to trust the teacher in order to really buy into the community. And also build relationships with each other. And we can encourage students to build relationships with their peers by incorporating a lot of group work and small group and class discussions. Again, speaking to each other, having good communication, effective eye contact. This will all build the community, the class community. Conclusions. A few really key points that I've pulled away from everything and will definitely be key points in my class community is set expectations the first day of class and set them high. Students, again, need to be involved in that. Modeling is key. The teacher needs to model, can't just tell the students what to do, but need to model in all the ways of the community all the time. And this can be difficult sometimes when, maybe you're having a bad day, but it really needs to be consistent because they need that all the time. Moving on to the next thing, they need that consistency. The rules, expectations, those kind of things can't change because when it's wishy-washy like that, it doesn't make the students trust it. And to have a really strong, positive community, everyone needs to be on board. Like I talked about in the emotional communication, extremely important. They really need to be able to communicate with me and communicate with each other, and we all need to be on the same page that way so that we're being effective in the classroom. And the last one, involvement. Everyone is involved. Everyone has a role to play. Will strengthen the community. Lastly, to kind of go throughout the year, it's great to set expectations high, but we talked about students reaching their goals by the end of the year. That's okay. I think it would really be nice to, by the end of the year, have a community where students are really invested in it. If they really believe in something, it's a little unsure of at first, but if it's something that they like and they're really a part of, they're going to buy into it by the end of the year. And the other thing I'd like students to kind of go on with out of my class is just to have maybe not a whole system of values, but at least a few that are important in life, whether it is teamwork or building good relationships or respect. Even if it's just one thing, it's something that is important that they can bring into other aspects of life and they'll carry on. And then the last thing is that the atmosphere, is a class, but it needs to be fun. And if we don't create that learning is fun and we don't have that attitude all the time, then it's not going to happen. So that is the final important piece.